And hello, friends. Welcome into the Stutler Bowl. Benjamin Paris alongside Tyler Tolbert, Dylan Reeve, getting ready for Cherry Creek Senior Night here on CCSN tonight. The Cherry Creek Bruins will take on the Eaglecrest Raptors. Tyler, kickoff got delayed. Think you can tell on the camera, raining quite profusely outside. And this contest was pretty much described as one that is a must-win for these Bruins if they want to make a run into the postseason.
Definitely, and I think you can see that here with just the energy that Creek has already warming up and in their huddle. They are really excited to play this game on senior night and a lot of meaning to this game, and I'm excited to see how they come out and play.
A good season for a lot of juniors here on this Cherry Creek squad. Of course, we just honored the seniors, but the class of 2022, two of their players, that's Cyrus Gulati and Carter Louie, lead this team in goals with 3 each. And you know, in one of the first games of the season, Cyrus had 2 goals. It was an emotional game for him, but the juniors are showing out after 16 seniors graduated from this team last year, so they don't have a ton of returning players.
Yeah, I think that's definitely true. This Creek team is really deep, all the way down from the seniors to the freshmen on the team, and they play hard, and it's great to see not just the seniors but the juniors and the underclassmen to contribute, and that's a sign of good things to come for the Cherry Creek soccer program.
A program that finished the season ranked 2nd in the state, but fortunately had an early exit in the state playoffs after they were upset by Pine Creek in just the 2nd round.
Yeah, that's definitely, you can see that they really want to get back to the playoffs and just avenge that loss. I've heard this year been described as a revenge tour for them. So they've really played with that passion and that emotion, especially on the defensive side, all year. And I expect them to come out with that tonight.
So we are ready to go here from the Stutler Bowl as Cherry Creek is looking to get things started. And the senior midfielder, Kim, getting ready to kick us off as the Bruins will go from right to left in the opening half. The Raptors in their white tops and bottoms will go from left to right. Raining quite hard, can expect some perhaps slippery conditions out there, but should make for a pretty exciting soccer game.
Definitely, and been on our run from your car to the press box. there was the weather here is really detrimental. We'll see how that affects them.
So we are ready to go as Cherry Creek looking to get things on their offensive end as Eaglecrest will stop the first attempt upfield, but Cherry Creek trying to get it back in the midfield. Just missed there as Eaglecrest will play it upfield, and it will be knocked out of bounds by the Bruins. I believe that was Carter Louie. So we'll have our first throw-in of the game, and the inbound for the Raptors. Looks like it's going to come out once again, so we'll toss it out of the hands of Madrea. And that one going to go out of bounds on the far side. It does look like it. Looks like the rain has turned to snow. Very big raindrops maybe as I just put my hand out the windows.
Yeah, and you can tell that ball is bouncing a little differently than usual, and it's given some of the players a little trouble trying to judge it.
So as the Bruins play it across midfield, looking to come onto the foot of Kim, but it's going to be broken up that time by Bashara, and Cherry Creek will get a chance to throw it in. And back out of bounds it comes. So we'll do it again as the temperature has certainly dropped by quite a few degrees in just about the last hour, and now some heavy precipitation out here at the Stutler Bowl as Carter Louie get to send that one in. As Gulati trying to battle, it's going to come out to about the 30-yard marking, and it's kept in by Cherry Creek as Gulati looking to center it. Pass a little bit too long for Macklin Riley, and it's going to go out of bounds. So Eaglecrest will get a goal kick. So I think you might be able to hear how heavy the rain is coming down, and if you get a look at the track, it is very, very wet out there as we come back into the action. Just under 3 minutes in. As the teams battle in the midfield, Eaglecrest going backwards a little bit so that they can move forwards, but Cherry Creek going to break up that one. And after a lot of congestion in the midfield, Cherry Creek going to try to keep it on the offensive side of the 50 as a lead pass. Coming onto the foot of Louis. Louis sending it back. As a shot on is saved. Our first shot and shot on goal of the contest. Comes just about 3 minutes and 10 seconds in. So that punt's going to come onto the foot of a Cherry Creek defender. Look to get it back across midfield. As Gulati tips that one onto the foot of Carter Louis. That one going to be out of bounds on the Raptors. Just kidding. Louis going to give it back to Eaglecrest. As Madrea will throw this one in.
And Ben, Creek has been playing really good midfield defense, not letting it get to their side of the field. And this is something we've seen all season. It's what we saw in the second half of the Grandview game that ultimately helped them win. And I think they just have to keep that up to they want to have a chance to win this one.
And Tyler, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know you were there for the Grandview game. It took Cherry Creek a little bit to get started, but once they did, there was quite a few goals scored in that contest, and I'm sure it was above the season high of 2.2 goals a match.
Yeah, that's definitely true. We got to see Cyrus Gulati get going, and when he's hot, and he was hitting crazy shots from the other side of the goal, from the other side of the field, and they would love to get a similar performance out of him this year.
So the corner kick comes in low, into the box, and it's in! Cherry Creek goal! And I think it came from who did it come from, Tyler?
I cannot recognize them with all the blonde tops.
Might have come from Gulati. Oh, we're going to give it to Robert Bailey, the freshman. So the freshman making the difference here on senior night. And it's 1-0. Bruins on top first. Out of the corner and off the head.
And what a pass there to set up the goal. Send it straight to him, and the freshman able to just knock it in there.
So less than 5 minutes into half number one. The Bruins get on the board first. And pardon me, we got to correct our scoreboard. So the Bruins push it back into the offensive end, and Gulati get to block that one from getting upfield. And we're going to get a substitution into the game. First one of the game as Amin Ali of Eaglecrest looks to check in.
And it will be interesting to watch the substitutions coming in all game. Game like this where it's rainy and it's cold, it's going to be hard to stay warm on the sideline. Your muscles start to tense up.
And part, I don't know if that was a substitution. I believe that the officials are going to chat things over, as I believe they're talking to the trainers.
Great to see Creek get off to a hot start today. After our Grandview game where it took them a little while, get a goal 6 minutes into the game. That's what you love to see. So Coach Barrera.
Now we have an official who has gone into the bleachers and run up onto the concourse. And now we got teams coming to the sideline. So an impromptu break here at the Stutler Bowl with 34 minutes, 50 seconds here in half number 1. And it is really coming down. So now Dylan, the camera guy tonight, is describing it as hail. Very dense rain for sure, in between rain and snow perhaps. And Dylan, if you can zoom in on this blue box, that is what you love to see. That person came to play. So we have the under the weather. I think that was on Shark Tank, Tyler. I don't know if you've seen that before.
I have not, but that is $1 million idea.
That is indeed $1 million idea. That's why it made it all the way to Shark Tank. So we're taking a break. That person is for sure having a good day out at the Stutler Bowl. But everyone else on the sideline is absolutely soaked. We have an official getting his ankle taped or wrapped or something. So that's why we have a break.
These conditions are not only dangerous for the players, but also the officials.
By the way, in goal, Knox Quarles for Cherry Creek this afternoon, and J.J. Farbs in there for Eaglecrest, 55 in red. Is 55 a soccer number?
I've never seen it before, but I think he pulls it off. Any number can be a good number if you play good. But I kind of like it.
The weather app on my phone now says snow for the next hour. Around 6 o'clock, we're going to get sleet, and then that's going to turn into snow.
It's going to be a fun drive home tonight.
So as our official will get his final, I guess his final checkup or whatever, we'll get right back into it. Man, what an odd afternoon, Tyler.
Yeah, it was a good day, beautiful day outside today, and it just started coming down about an hour ago. But that's Colorado spring weather for you. The last weather delay I was a part of was a year ago. The first game of the season when Creek played Doherty in football.
Was that the last time we had a weather delay?
I think so.
And I believe when we oh, do you remember the Santa Margarita game?
I do.
That game had to be played because they'd come out of town from California. So we waited. I think that game kicked off at 8 or 8:30.
Yeah.
That was 2 weeks in a row when we had weather delays during football last year.
Yeah.
Pretty cool stuff. As a lead pass was looking for Carter Louie.
Creek's still doing a good job of keeping the ball on their side of the field. It's paying off with goals.
As it comes off the foot of Gulati, through the foot of Garcia. As Eaglecrest looking to get upfield. Brown knocked it forward, and Bruins able to keep it in here on the near side. It's Louie. Louie onto the foot of Kim. Kim back for Gulati. Lead pass for Kim, who's going to get there first. And it's the Eaglecrest goaltender, J.J. Farbs, and he's going to punt it away. Heads up play there from Farbs to race out about 20 yards out of his box.
Bit of a risky play too, but he made the play, and that's what matters.
Outmatch the speed of Gulati. And as it comes out of bounds, we're going to get Cherry Creek ball. And oh my goodness. It is, I can't even describe it. The weather out here is insane.
It is coming down about as hard as it has past month, I'd say.
You know what I don't like, Tyler, is we have no ball people out here. And usually some of the JV players will do it for the varsity or the boys team, we'll do it for the girls team, stuff like that. But players, I don't know if it's a COVID-related thing or not, but players having to chase after their own balls in the rain, that can't be fun.
Not at all. Especially going on that wet track. That is definitely a slipping hazard.
As the visibility has gone from bad to worse. But the Bruins have it on the offensive side of things. The shot is on. Looked to be wide, but the goaltender cannot haul it in. Perhaps the ball was slippery, so it's going to end up in a Cherry Creek corner. I believe Gulati's going to take this one on the far side. I think that's a 14, but who knows? Your guess on the camera is just as good as mine. I believe Gulati takes this one low, and it's in! Gulati sends it a slide, and he slid well here in the wet, cold, rain, snow, whatever you want to call it, but it is 2-0 Cherry Creek.
Cherry Creek has been dominating the time of possession and just keeping the ball on their side, and they are going to work on this Eaglecrest defense.
So it makes it 2-0. 31:50 to go in half number one. And by the way, these Bruins coming in at 4-2-0, Eaglecrest at 2-3-1. But if the Bruins can keep the pedal to the metal, they'll be good. And Eaglecrest has, I don't even know if they've gone a shot attempt off yet.
And the Bruins are playing like this is a must-win game. They're playing hard. And it's paying off.
Interesting thing about this Eaglecrest team, I think they're playing at Legacy Stadium against Grandview. The reason they have a tie is because the lights went out.
That is true. And I don't know what it is about soccer, but just unfortunate things happen out of the control of the teams. And
I don't know if it's happened enough times to call it a theme, but that happened at a Cherry Creek hockey game earlier on this season as well. The Lights Inside Family Sports Center just pulled the plug. Someone forgot to pay the power bill. As another lead pass, here comes Gulati. Was able to stay onside. And he almost had a breakaway opportunity as Garcia going to send this one in towards the box. This time, Farbs is on top of it. And he's going to get ready to kick it away. As battling there for the Bruins was Louis. Comes on to the foot of White of the Raptors.
Eaglecrest really looking to get something going.
And Cherry Creek says no. As it comes to Louis. He's going to send it back. Cherry Creek going to try to clear. And they're not able to. As Ollie working towards the center third of the field. Onto the foot of Hughes.
This is what Eaglecrest needs, is a good offensive possession. Keep the ball on their side for a little bit.
So Cherry Creek breaks it up. It's going to go out of bounds. I don't know if you call that the baseline. I know you do in basketball. End line, maybe?
I think it's the end line.
The end line. So it's going to end up with an Eaglecrest corner. And Cherry Creek is able to break that one up. Because it was Eaglecrest, really, that's really the closest they've gotten into the box or on net. And the Bruins have an answer. So we're inside 30 minutes to go in half number one. Bruins still lead it 2-0. You're right. Our snowflakes are now huge, and I know you can see them now. As Eaglecrest get a kick that one out. You know, Tyler, spring sports here in Colorado, you really know what you're going to get.
Yeah, and one could argue that the spring sports have worse weather than the fall sports. And you got to be prepared for them. Now, soccer may not be as used to this type of weather. They usually get done around November, October. But They are definitely feeling the effects now.
Usually something the girls' soccer team has to battle. And when you think about some other spring sports among the years, the last girls' golf tournament to happen in the spring in May got snowed out. But at the boys' golf championship, it was almost 85 degrees this year.
I know, and if I was a spring sport, I would definitely be pushing to, especially golf, to get into the fall sports category. So I would not want to play golf in this weather, that's for sure.
And because of the length of the season, those golfers, especially in the fall, they really get out just in the nick of time. It's usually week 1 or week 2 of football, and the weather hasn't gotten really even below 50.
Yeah, golf, if you're looking to pick up a sport at Creek, definitely a fun experience, I would say. Ben, you would know more about that than I would.
Terrific experience. And it doesn't matter what level you play at, and especially if you're a girl out there watching, I don't believe there's cuts for girls, so it's really... It's interesting sport because there's a real team environment, but everyone's out there in front of themselves. And if you play in the fall with the boys, pretty warm outside too. It's just like an extension of your summer, and you get to miss a little bit of school as well.
Not to mention, you get to hang out with Mr. Mark Goldsberry all day.
That is true.
Always to be wanted.
Back into the action inside. 38 minutes to go. The Bruins still on top 2-0. Eaglecrest trying to get some offensive momentum going, but Cherry Creek has the last defensive line has really been almost like a brick wall. As Kim was trying to knock that one up to Gulati, going to come out of bounds. So Carter Louis, I think, is going to be the one responsible for throwing this one in. And scratch that. It's going to come to Bailey. As Bailey was looking for Kim. Out of bounds, Carter Louis going to restart this one onto the foot of Garcia. It's Thomas Garcia trying to work through the Eaglecrest defense.
The Cherry Creek sideline trying to stay warm. Jogging around. I know that is definitely going to be tough for some of the backups to come in.
It's Cherry Creek trying to penetrate the defense. And a shot on, going to be wide off the foot of Bailey. It's almost like being in a snow globe right now.
That is a great analogy, Ben. The snowflakes are massive.
Gulati from 30 yards out, going to send one high. Looks to be wide. And the Eaglecrest goalkeeper, Farbs, on the end line, just made a pretty nifty play to make sure his feet and ball didn't go out of bounds at the same time, as it comes right to Carter Louis off the chest, as Louis going to work it towards midfield. And Louis pass a little bit behind Riley. Riley going to go back to Louis and now to Garcia. And it's broken up, but Thomas Garcia making another good play to keep Cherry Creek on the offensive side of things. Is Kim going to knock that one up? Cherry Creek trying to come to the left third of the field. They can't, but look at that. Thomas Garcia again. The tackle came in kind of from behind White, made a good play on the ball. And that tackle missed by the Bruins as here comes a lead pass for White. White going to put it towards the box, and it's in! Off the foot of Jaden Brown. He makes it 2-1.
What a pass by the forward for Eaglecrest to get it to Jaden Brown. That is exactly what Eaglecrest needed to get right back into this game.
A picture-perfect pass across the box, and Jaden Brown finishes it off. So now it's 2-1.
And Eaglecrest has had some success just penetrating the defense on those breakaways. They finally able to find the net on that one.
Conditions are anything but optimal, but maybe that's going to be the recipe for a high-scoring game. We got a shootout here in the snow. So we're just about 15 minutes in. We've got 3 goals total. So the Bruins looking to respond after letting up the goal. as Farbs will send it away. And a nifty play from Bailey. And Cherry Creek gonna get it away. It's a little bit of back and forth now. Official ducks. And now Eaglecrest trying to get back on offense, as quite a few times we've had some congestion in the midfield, Tyler, and whoever's going to win most of those battles will probably win the contest.
Definitely, and yeah, most of the action has been in the midfield, and when the teams have gotten an opportunity to get it close to the goal, they've capitalized on it. So the game will probably be won in the midfield.
As it comes right on to the foot of Gulati. Got to send it back so the Bruins can move back in. And Eaglecrest will cross the midfield, but it's going to come to the last line of Cherry Creek defenders, send it back to their goalkeeper, who's going to try to clear a great pass over the head right to Carter Louie, as Louie looking to get it to an offensive player for Cherry Creek. And it looks like Kim's able to win that battle, keep possession for Cherry Creek, as they're going to send it in.
And you saw the defenders of Creek just be not as aggressive and expect Eaglecrest to get a breakaway, and they were able to defend against it and had numbers to defend against it. Ben, I think the snow is somehow coming down harder than it was 5 minutes ago.
It's very wet snow, which is probably good for driving, but probably not good for field conditions, because that means it's slippery. Maybe that's not good for driving. I mean, in terms of ice.
That is true, but you can see on the field it's starting to stick. Field's starting to turn to a light green.
As Kim has it, Cherry Creek trying to get into the box. The shot comes from just outside of it, and it's in! Robert Bailey strikes again, his second goal of the game.
And what an impact he's had on this game. That goal was from about 15 yards out. The power behind that shot.
So Bailey on hat trick watch in half number one. For you hockey fans out there, think about Jonas Donskoy of the Avalanche getting a first period hat trick last week. Robert Bailey going to try to do the same. So now it's Eaglecrest who's going to try to get a response. But there's a lot of time left in this game, as we are almost just halfway through the first half. A quarter of the way through the contest.
Great save there by Chaikin.
So here comes Gulati, looking up for Watson, who I believe subbed in after the goal. And onto the foot of Garcia. Garcia back for Matteo Minicini.
CCSN member.
CCSN's finest. His brother Gabe was in CCSN as well.
Great volleyball cameraman.
And some hockey play-by-play as well. Or color, rather. Always fun to do games with Gabe. As Cherry Creek able to break that one up. And it's tipped forward from Gulati. Lead pass, who's going to get there first? Cherry Creek gonna kind of forfeit that one to Farbs.
You see the Cherry Creek defenders playing back a little bit and how they were.
So that pass going to go out of bounds, hit the official. Then it came back in, but it crossed the yellow line first.
See if Creek can really take a stranglehold on this game with just under 20 minutes left.
And this time it's going to be Eaglecrest ball. And we have a whistle. Substitution coming in. Andrew Penty as Georgis, I believe that's how you say it, is going to subbed out for Eaglecrest. So Cherry Creek defense, besides from one pretty spectacular play from Eaglecrest, is playing very well their back line. And Tyler, I have an ideology question for you because I know you play a little bit of football safety. What's it like to really be that last line of defense?
I mean, there's a lot of pressure there, but looks like one of the players slipped.
I think it was Louis.
But yeah, there's a lot of pressure there, but just gotta trust your technique and you can't think. So if you think,
Gulati to Louis. Louis gonna be sent to the ground. We have a whistle, and it should be a free kick coming up for Cherry Creek.
you could see where he slid on the field. It's the only part of the field without snow.
Louis a little slow to get up. As Noah Fulton get a check into the game.
Definitely know that taking hits in the cold always.
That one always hurts an extra little bit, doesn't it? Then for the Raptors comes Jaden Brown once again. So on about the 13 or 14 yard line, Gulati and Riley in the area for Cherry Creek. I'd love to see Gulati go top right.
I think he could get there.
Let's see if he tries to send it on net.
We've definitely seen him make spectacular plays before.
Gulati sends it on net, but Farbs is there to save it as it drops down to his knees. But a good shot there from Gulati. Interesting stat that we talked about on CCSN Weekend Update the last weekend was that over 75, I believe it's 78% of Gulati's shots are on goal, and he leads the team coming into the game. He had 20 shots on goal, 26 shots total, but if that isn't offensive efficiency, I don't know what is.
Yeah, he is just a machine on offense, and you're able to see two of his three goals against Grandview. His just speed and his power that he has behind his kicks are just too much for goalies to handle.
And working deep in the Cherry Creek end was Eaglecrest, but it's just going to go out on the end line as they're going to get some more substitutions in. And Cherry Creek is going to have a goal kick. So out it comes. As Eaglecrest on the foot of Munaz. But Cherry Creek able to clear. So it's kicked right back in. Back and forth. As that action getting quite a few cheers from the sideline.
I know that header hurt.
That's something I shied away from at recess.
Yeah, I was never brave enough for the header.
So that shot on net saved by the Bruins goalkeeper.
Ben, I'm assuming your recess campus soccer days were bar none the best out of anyone.
Actually retired after 5th grade at High Plains. I don't know if I ever saw the light of day at campus, but I enjoyed goalie quite a little bit, but I think you could probably consider me a cherry picker.
Hey, you got to get goals or you can get goals.
Goals or saves. Of course, no officials. That might have been the best part. Anything goes.
Anything goes. I was more of a defense person myself. Enjoyed just talking to the goalie until the ball rolled our way.
My favorite position in soccer is the sweeper. That plays right in front of the goalie. Then I learned that that's not a real position in soccer. So the Cherry Creek wall of just 2 defenders is able to block that one, coming off the foot of Burton. And Bruins look like they're gonna be able to clear as they ran really over each other a little bit there on the defensive end, but Burns gonna come out to play it, and he's gonna be able to kick it away.
And he has not been scared to come out of his goal. Played really aggressive, and it hasn't hurt him yet.
Time he came nearly 40 yards out.
But he is fast.
So we're now inside 15 minutes to go. I mean, it is things are getting so slow out there. And so wet, rather, so white. The field is covered. Early bids for a snow day tomorrow. No chance.
Hey, one can only dream.
You know, Principal Silva played an April Fool's prank on us last week. He comes on the intercom and told us that due to COVID and snow days, we had to add a week of school, and then he came on later just to say, just kidding. But that's the stuff you get out of the newly crowned Colorado High School Principal of the Year, as announced today. So I don't know if he's ever won that award before, but he definitely deserves it.
He definitely does. He does so much for the school. You can always say hi to him in the hallways. He's never really walking. He's always doing a light jog to get somewhere.
That is one guy who gets his steps in for sure.
I would like to see what his time from walking to his office to East is.
Probably faster than mine.
Definitely faster than mine. I'd have to say under 5 minutes.
He's like an emergency vehicle. You got to pull over to the right if you see Silva coming.
Definitely.
As we're back into the action, Eaglecrest still has facing a 2-goal deficit, and we're slacking on the scoreboard. It's actually 3-1. There you have it. 3-1. Still in half number 1. We can assure that that part's right.
And Ben, how have you enjoyed the first couple days back of 3,500 people on campus?
I think exhausting is a word to describe it, Tyler.
I could definitely agree with you.
Because you kind of had the luxury of when you had a hybrid model where you could kind of schedule your after-school things to be on days when you're not at school, and that's how I did a lot of broadcasts. But the last time I had school and then a broadcast was, a physical play there made by Noah Fulton.
The Eaglecrest fans are not happy about that one.
But back to the point, probably last basketball season, the last basketball playoffs was the last time I routinely did school and then broadcast. So after this, it's go home and do the homework. So it's interesting for sure.
It's definitely going to be an adjustment, that's for sure.
It's academically, I think it'll be okay, but it's really a physical change for me.
Yeah.
In terms of really sleep more than anything else, but I'll probably get more exercise than I did when I was at home all day.
I'm definitely getting my steps in.
I'm happy. Sure. I'm happy walking across campus for sure. I know the fitness app on my watch is as well.
May have to invest in that. So I definitely get my steps in during the day.
It's a good investment, except when there's a pandemic, you might find yourself getting bullied. Siri bullies you. Siri could be your best friend, but also your worst critic. But hey, maybe that's the type of friend you need.
Maybe.
But no product placement or anything.
Siri does always have your back.
Get a Samsung watch for all I care. So we're inside 10 minutes to go in half number 1. Can you believe this all started with a lightning delay?
I cannot. It was pouring rain before. Now it looks like December. The snowflakes are, I'd give or take, an inch, 2 inches. Wide.
I think, yeah, that might be generous.
I don't know. It's some of the biggest snowflakes I've seen in a while.
When we get to the halftime break, we'll zoom in on one of the lights here at the stadium, and that will get you a true view of the action. Bruins going to get some more substitutions in. Get the fresh legs who are keeping warm on the sideline. Coach Barrera looks pretty hype on the sidelines.
He has been pumped up all day. He's dancing a little bit pre-game, and you love to see that from your head coach.
He's back at it. Eaglecrest trying to put something in the back of the net, try to make it perhaps a 1-goal deficit, if not try to tie it up before the half, but Cherry Creek just trying to extend the pressure as Gulati megs his defender that sends it downfield. Not enough momentum on the ball to go out of bounds. That's going to force Eaglecrest to chip it out. What'd you think of the nutmeg?
I mean, we may have to see that on a CCSN weekend update. That's what I think.
We'll try our best to try to go back and find that one. There's a lot of highlights that missed that show, unfortunately.
7 minutes in.
Well, there you go. Sculati blocks out for going out of bounds. That's a play that gets your bench going as well.
Yeah, and the Creek bench has been hyped all night.
It's senior night.
Yeah, and the seniors are definitely playing like it, but so are the freshmen, Robert Bailey. 2 goals.
So here comes the Bruins. Garcia looking for Kim. And Garcia's really set up a lot of offensive plays for the Bruins as well, and he's having quite the game as the midfielder this evening. It's kind of a weird time. 6 o'clock, we'll call it evening.
See, I usually think 6 o'clock in the summer counts as afternoon. 6 o'clock in the winter.
What about when it's April but it's snowing?
So that's when it gets.
That's when it gets a little iffy. Not too bad. We're keeping pretty dry up here in the Stutler Bowl.
Few stray snowflakes.
Camera's doing all right. Camera's doing fine, actually. A little bit on the computer, but nothing that can't handle.
Just a few stray snowflakes making their way into the press box. Nothing crazy. Outside the press box, however, is a different story.
The luxury of being a part of the Cherry Creek Sports Network. Make sure you take broadcast media, kids.
And so you get to watch the super cold games from the nice, warm indoors. Even though that wind is not very forgiving.
That is true. The wind is the only drawback of the press box on certain days. And it's always worse in Aurora at Legacy Stadium.
A Legacy Stadium, it's always windy. It's never been windy there.
So we see Gulati slide.
The Eaglecrest football game.
Brutal. What was the final score of that one? 50-0?
That
Yeah,
it was, yeah.
that was a brutal one.
As a player, we were almost getting blown over.
I
by
was
the
getting
wind.
blown as a player, as someone who does not weigh enough to play high school football. And besides that, a few other things hold me back, but I was getting blown around.
That wind, I'm sure you ask anyone there that day,
They'll
was
remember it.
the worst conditions I've ever seen.
Did you dress for the Arapahoe football game your sophomore year?
I did.
Oh,
That one was cold.
that was bad. My phone froze.
My toes and my fingers hurt for like a day after that.
Oh, me as well. And that was on a Thursday, too. I think we had school the next day.
It was.
All right, inside 4 minutes to go. As things have gotten slippery. The slippery Stutler Bowl. As Pular tried to play that one ahead, it gets blocked out of bounds. Eaglecrest has a substitution coming in.
You can tell these players are trying to get into the locker room as quick as possible.
Try to dry off to the best of their ability, but who knows. That one broken up by a header off of Thomas Garcia. And Garcia there again on defense. And Gulati knocks that one ahead, and Cherry Creek looks like they're able to escape some Eaglecrest pressure. I spoke too soon. As Ben Welk sends that one far side.
Eaglecrest really needs to get something going here. They want to feel strong about coming out in the second half.
And Kim there for Cherry Creek, not able to corral it. We got 2:35 to go in half number one. Eaglecrest building on some momentum.
Creek just can't clear.
Bruins stuck in their own defensive half of the field. As the Bruins have it. Towards Kim. Should get a whistle there. We're not going to.
This game's gotten a little physical. Soccer is a contact sport, and in the snow, it's gotten a little chippy.
As we approach the 100-second mark. And Cherry Creek able to break that one up. And they almost cleared, but it was deflected. Eaglecrest trying to send this one into the box. It's going to go wide. Out of bounds on who last? The officials say the Eaglecrest Raptors, so Cherry Creek finally going to have an opportunity to clear.
That is a big defensive stop for Creek. Had to play defense for almost 5 minutes, and they were able to survive it. Well, not speaking too soon if they can get this clear.
We now have under a minute to go in half number one. Raptors have been on their own offensive half of the field for the better part of probably the last 5 minutes. And they'd love to get something in the back of the net. They have 30 seconds to do it, and the Bruins not exactly able to clear, but able to send it deeper out of the zone. Can this one be picked off? It is. Gulati gets there first, but it's taken right back by the Raptors. Gulati with a tackle attempt. That one won't work. 15 seconds to go with the Raptors. They got to get this ball towards the net. As Ollie's going to try to do it. 7 seconds to go. Now down to 5 and onto the foot of a Bruin. That should do it. The end of half number one. It is 3-1. Cherry Creek at halftime. as the Bruins lead it 3-1 on senior night. We're going to take a break, as the teams will here on CCSN, and we'll join you for half number 2 after this. alongside Tyler Tolbert and Benjamin Paris, getting ready for half number 2 at the Stutler Bowl, where the Cherry Creek Bruins lead it 3-1 on senior night inside the slow globe that has become the Stutler Bowl. Now, just in passing during the break, the officials really having 2 primary concerns right now. Number 1, very, very slippery out there. And number 2, the ball ain't rolling too well, so they're seeing a lot of collisions in between players, which you don't like to see. So we'll see the game. I think Smoky Hill is playing Cherokee Trail over at Legacy Stadium. That game concluded at halftime, so
Yes.
if things get any worse, we might be in the same situation here. But as far as right now, Eaglecrest is getting ready to kick off half number 2.
Yes, and usually the conditions down at Legacy are worse than over here at Stutler, so we don't know what they may be dealing with more snow than we are, believe it or not.
East down I-20, or not I-25, Arapahoe Road rather, is a scary place.
Most definitely.
I've had a lot of sketchy drives home from there.
I got a sketchy drive home tonight.
Across the dam?
Yeah.
Across the dam. So I believe we're going to get things started. It's Barrera trying to hype up his squad. I think Gulati's down there dancing. Oh, look at that. Oh, you can see it. Gulati's having the time of his life here in the snow.
Both of the 2 teams' sidelines are penguin huddling right now, trying to keep warm.
We got blankets, we got jackets, we got just about everything you can imagine. And as far as I know, we're still going to play this second half, but we might be missing an official. I don't really know what's happening.
I know these officials are not excited to come back on the field, that's for sure.
The one official pulled a calf muscle, and that's when we had our first stoppage in play just about 5 minutes into the game, and they don't want to risk further injuries to themselves or to any of the student athletes out there. By the way, I hear that today is National Student Athlete Day, so that's cool.
Oh, really?
Our officials are out here. Barrera's getting hyped up on the sideline, and I think we're getting ready to go for the second half on CCSN. Gulati's excited. The sideline's excited. It could be sunny and 70. It wouldn't make a difference down there on the sideline. Here we go, half number 2. Eaglecrest faces a 2-goal deficit. As Cherry Creek tried to seal the deal on senior night, we have 40 minutes to go. As it comes out of bounds, should be the Raptors' ball, and it is. The toss-in coming from Marquez. Cleared away by the Bruins. Upfield, and Gulati sends it across the midline. Tyler, your take on eating oranges at halftime?
Oh, orange is by far the best halftime fruit, I'd have to say. Hopefully some of the Creek players are able to get some in them, give them some energy.
No, Carol Van Geitenbeek, I don't know if she's watching this afternoon, but she brought oranges for the basketball team, and the bag was always gone every game, and she's doing something right. Her daughter's a national champion.
That is true. Hey, I've had the privilege to eat out of Carol's Cantina a couple times, and the food is always delicious.
I've gotten curbside from Carol's Cantina during the pandemic. Oh, Gulati, gonna get a whistle there from the takedown from behind.
And players are slipping all over the field.
And that will do it! That was not a play you like to see from Gulati. The Bruins are gonna win it in just 41 minutes and 23 seconds on senior night. Would you look at that, Tyler?
Wow, and you know what? Going into this game, that was not what I was expecting. But what a way.
It started late. It ended early. The Bruins get it done in just one half in a few more minutes. It's over from the Stutler Bowl. The Bruins get the 3-1 victory on senior night. Tyler, let's hear your closing thoughts.
Yeah, this is just a great must-win for the Bruins and just on their quest to get into the playoffs. And if they keep playing like this, who knows how far they'll go. It's great to do this game alongside you, Ben. Always loved broadcasting with you.
Well, that would do it. Bruins pick up the 3-1 victory in a snowy affair, a game that we will probably remember for days, weeks, and maybe even months to come. For Dylan Reeve and Tyler Tolbert, I'm Benjamin Paris signing off from the Stutler Bowl. Thanks for tuning in to CCSN. We'll see you tomorrow. We got volleyball senior night as the Lady Bruins get ready to take on, believe it's the Arapahoe